you got a lot of heavy mana requirements on both sides, he gets better. Obviously, if you're splashing, he gets a lot better. But he is just a 1/1 flyer. If you have Hammer of Ruins and whatnot, he gets better. Alright, Razor Boomerang is, let's see, is it unplayable? 3 and 2, 5 mana for each 1 damage. And a creature tap. Yeah, I'd say that's unplayable. Yeah. If your opponent has some like 1 toughness guys that you really need to get rid of, like the real pinger, then okay, maybe. But you got to be pretty desperate to board this thing in. That thing is awful, awful. Ah man, even if their whole deck is if their whole deck's 1 toughness, they're too fast for it anyway. Ah man, I mean it's worthwhile for taking out a Hag or Croc, so that's true. Or maybe they're 3/1 flyer dude. I'd be willing to pay 5 mana for that and tap a guy, but in general, it's not going to be that great. Or it's going to be really bad. Usually don't play it. Sideboard it in, 1 out of 50 games or something. Okay, Seer's Sundial is pretty sick for the slow decks. So, 4 for an artifact, land comes into play under your control, pay 2, draw a card. Sounds good to me. So, depends on your deck and how much it really wants the card drawing. But the card drawing is pretty insane, so. Okay, then we've got Walking Atlas, which is like a bad joke as far as a concept. He's folded paper that walks around, and apparently he's looking for his glasses or his contact lens. Alright, I don't know, this Rob Alexander, wow. I don't know who was thinking what with this one. Kind of looks like a cut-off picture. There's something over here in the background that used to be something else. Anyway, he's pretty good. So it depends on the deck, but I'd play him a lot of the time, especially if I want to ramp up to something. It's good to enable extra landfall if you want to get more than 1 hit on the same turn for some reason. Okay, Bajuko Bog. If your opponent has a lot of things that return things from the graveyard, it can certainly be worth it. It's the reanimate kind of cards and whatnot, so definitely worth considering. I wouldn't play it in the main deck, I'd board it in. Celestial Colonnade is an insane card. That's going to be really good in your deck. I mean, you got to get some vigilance. Okay. Alright. Obviously really good. Definitely take the man lands over anything except removal. Although they'll probably pay for the pack you opened. So, I would think. Hopefully. So, probably just going to take them anyway. So, they're all really good. None of them's not worth playing, so obviously. I mean, even if they were just coming to play tap land that produced 2 colors, they'd be worth playing, so. The best ones, I don't know. Colonnade's really good. Tar Pit's really good. Lava Claw Reaches, it's okay. They can block it with a Grizzly Bear and it dies, unfortunately. Raging Ravine. Is it 4/4 when it attacks, so that's good. And Stirring Wildwood is pretty good too. They're all good. Except for, I guess Lava Claw Reaches is the worst. Though it might be pretty good and constructed, because you can pump the crap out of it. Dread Statuary. I would definitely play the Dread Statuary. If I didn't want the colorless land in my deck because my mana requirements were too rough, I would just play an extra land and play it. So that would be my 19th or 20th land. So that would be that. Eye of Ujin. So this one is really random. So they're referring to Eldrazi spells which don't exist yet, right? On a mythic card from Worldwake. I know the next set is the Rise of the Eldrazi, so obviously it'll apply there. I don't think they would make a joke mythic card. But now everyone's left wondering, should I keep these? Should I sell them? Should I buy 100 of them and hope they become really valuable, or 1,000, whatever, and and cash in big, or what? It's kind of screwy to do that to the market. I mean, not to mention how many people are going to trade these away for nothing, and then bam, now it's a $20 card, right? I mean, that's legendary, I guess. Well, I don't think it'll ever be $20, but anyway. So pretty random. I don't like it. I don't like it when they do crap like that. Okay, Halimar Depths. Is it worth playing? Sure. Colony Garden. Definitely worth playing. Quicksand. Definitely worth playing. Same deal as the other one. If you don't want the colorless land, just play it as an extra land, because that's certainly not going to hurt you in Zendikar block. Sejuri Step. I don't know. I think usually no. No, I'm going to say no. Don't play that card very often. No. Smoldering Spires, a little better. Smoldering Spires can allow a whole bunch of your guys to attack, so that one will probably make the cut. Tectonic Edge. You can certainly play it just as an extra land or whatever is your pleasure. Certainly taps for colorless and doesn't come into play tap. Alright, well that's the set. I think the format just got a lot slower, so some of my super aggro decks I don't think are necessarily as good as they used to be, because when it got slower, it didn't get slower in a way that made aggro better. It got slower in a way that made aggro worse. It's harder to make the aggro deck, and the aggro deck's easier to stop. Alright, so that's Worldwake. I think mono red is not going to be nearly as viable, probably only half as much as it was before. One fewer turn to get Spire Barrages and Valakut, etc. And just a lot of key cards that you're not going to have enough of. Let's see, black is still good. Black-green will probably still be good. Blue-white I think is going to be a lot better than it was. People will try and play all the allied color combinations more now, just because there's an uncommon or common in Worldwake now that works with them. And then you could always hope to get the big mythics, right? It's going to be more splashing for, well, not more splashing. People might try and play more colors just because they want to fulfill like the land requirement on like the 2/1 Merfolk, or splash one of these mythics, though I mean they're not going to come up that often, etc. A lot of people are going to try and play these really expensive cards, so you still want to take advantage of that and not try and play decks that are so slow that you let your opponent drop a 7-drop on you without having pressure on them and just wreck you. So definitely a lot of things have changed, but a lot of things will just stay the same. It's still 2/3 Zendikar, so keep that in mind. It's still going to be a really aggressive format, and a lot of the same old rules apply. And that is all. I'll talk to you guys later.